person, and on my Thursday stream is where I update that plan, or I make changes, or I make a completely new plan looking at the condition or the move we have gotten. Okay, so now let's get to the Bitcoin. What I'm looking at, let's start with our, of course, textbook. We should always start with a higher time frame, and if I look at the higher time frame, which is of course daily, or even better yet, let's start with the weekly time frame. Okay, so if you ask me about the weekly time frame, it looks insanely nasty, and I do not have good things to say about the weekly time frame. Okay, first of all, see, it is very easy to understand something if you understand it with the examples. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples to make you understand why I think that weekly looks very nasty. Okay, so, and this is something you can apply in your day to day life as well. If you want to explain something, explain with the examples. People understand it better this way. Okay, so do you see, okay, let me just hide this. Do you see how we have a gap here? This gap here, there are no overlapping candles, and there is gap, there is liquidity. Basically the science behind this gap is that there is low volume in there, so the price is expected to become impulsive from there. Either the price will basically go through very impulsively. When I say impulsive, I mean very fast, or it will reject very impulsively. When I say impulsively, I mean fast. So if you observe on a weekly time frame, what happened before that is that we were in a range, and after that range we went up, completely filled that weekly imbalance, and then you can see the strong red candle was printed, an entire pump which happened was gone, and now we start going up, and then we broke the range, which was basically this range. We broke the range and we started going down. Okay, now I'm going to show you our current price action, and you will find the similarities to the extent. Okay, so of course this range is smaller than the range we had here, but that is because of the time, because we have spent less time in this range than we had in this range. Okay, but this is a very valid range on a daily time frame. I can even show you, like, do you see, this is a very valid and beautiful range, and we did made a lot of money in this month using this choppy range. And I love trading the ranges, by the way, because I personally believe that ranges are one of the easiest ways to make money in the market, whether it is Nasdaq, Bitcoin, or anything. And if the range is volatile, you have hit a jackpot. Okay, so we were in this range on a daily time frame, and then what happened is that price broke out of this range. This was our range. Price broke out of this range, completely filled the weekly gap we had here. See the candle we have printed after that. We retraced the entire pump. Okay, this was the candle which caused to fill the entire weekly gap. See what happened after that. Almost a 12% dump after filling that gap, which gave us an impulsive move, which is of course is not good. Now, I don't know if you know about the TA much or not, and it does not matter. Okay, it does not matter. What it matters is visualization of the candles really tells you about the price action. Now you would say, okay, Owais, you're fucking making shit up, but trust me, I'm not. If it's looking ugly, it is ugly. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? If it's looking ugly, it is most probably ugly. Okay, so this is looking very ugly. First of all, you had these very ugly candles where you left all of the liquidity, where you see you left all of the liquidity here. Let me just uh okay, I don't know why is that. Yeah, you see we left all of that liquidity up, then we went up and swept all of that liquidity, and in one candle we retraced the entire pump we did to the 10%. See how nasty this weekly candle was. And after that we did give a pump, but then see what happened. Just give a pump to completely fill this gap, and now we are going down, and this is looking very ugly, and this is looking like a v-shaped reversal where to expect the lower is the most probability. Now before we go further into the update, it is very important you understand that market is all about the probability. So when I'm saying that I am expecting lower, I am not 100% certain, and no one is, because no one is astrologer, or even if you are an astrologer, there is no certainty that market will do what you're expecting it to do. So when I say I'm expecting lower, it's purely because I have done my analysis, and according to that analysis, the price going down have higher probability than price going up. It is simply that. Okay, hope that made sense. I try to be as persuasive as I can with my analysis, so you guys can get the idea why I am doing this. and everything. Okay, so right now the weekly is looking extremely weak and bearish. We have completely filled the weekly imbalance like how we did here. So for me to expect lower is the probable situation, the highest probable situation. Now let's look at the daily time frame. Okay, so on a daily time frame, we are still respecting the range we have on a monthly time frame. Let me remove this to give you the perspective. You have this and this range. Okay, I'm just giving you a quick overview of the time frames. So you have this range, and to get a more proper levels of this range, I utilize the tool called FRVP, volume profile. It is a very amazing tool. So uh, price is currently respecting the range. First of all, we did a fake out of this range, then we did another fake out of this range, and now we have done a fake out below this range. We swept the liquidity we had here, did a fake out. But the problem with this fake out is extremely bad, and I'm going to explain you why. As I said earlier, if it's looking ugly, then it's most likely is ugly. Okay, so and do you see the similarities that we have a gap here? So on a daily time frame, even though price did a fake out of the support, it went below the support, but then it quickly closed above the support. So telling the bulls that we are safe, and I do not believe that. Okay, and I'm going to explain you why. Because even though we had a bounce and we did close above the support, this wick, do you see right here, it is very extremely nasty. The pure reason to is that you had this imbalance here, price went up, sweep this imbalance. As I just explained, when you have a gap like this, the prices tend to become impulsive here. So either the price will go very uh, strongly pass through that, or price will very strongly reject from that. And if it's rejecting, it's of course is a sign that the trend will continue. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Okay, do you see we have the gap here as well? What happened is that we formed such a strong volume candle and we passed through that uh, gap. And then what happened after that? We changed the structure and we became bearish because we filled that imbalance. Because we filled that imbalance, that is how strong these imbalances are. So if we are flipping these imbalances, it is no joke. We did not do that, but instead we just rejected from that. So for us to believe that this is very ugly and we will go lower from there is again is the highest probability looking at the price action or whatever concepts you use. I can give you a couple more confidences as well, such as we rejected from the POC, point of control. So when you bounce from value area low, you can consider the value area low as a support. When you bounce from the value area low, you have two zones where you are expected to reject the most. The first is point of control. You can understand the point of control as middle of the range, or you have the value area high, and you can understand the value area high as the range high as the resistance. So we did reject from the point of control, and the reaction is no joke. And of course we also have the geopolitical tensions developing, which is heavily contributes to the bearish price action we have here. So for me to look at this chart and tell you that we are going higher, sorry, I cannot do that unless the situation changes. I will be the first guy to tell you that I'm bullish, but right now I am not bullish. I am expecting lower. I am just waiting for the price to completely break below this value area low, give me the retest I want, like break below this, give me the retest, a reaction is small, and I will make a short and I will ride that short till the 54k. Unless of course the situation changes, which I always say it can always change, and I will adapt. I have a very distinct trading style than a lot of people have. Okay, so what do I mean by the trading style changes is that maybe let's say we flip the point of control, then of course I will start to get some sort of bullish, and I will be happy to take a long. But of course it also have some sort of conditions, etc. I'm not going to go in depth because of course that will be very advanced. So for right now, if you want to know what my bias is, it is extremely bearish, and I'm looking for shorts. And I was in a short, I just closed my short. But of course, I'm not sharing any trades right now into the server because these are low probability trades and these are not very high probability trades. Okay, I did took a short. I can even show you the proof, so you don't think I'm larping. But I would need to open my Hyro. I will share it after in my channel. Just remind me. Okay, I did take a short personally. Okay, and the reason for the short was purely simple. Point of control. you had this gap. And if you are following my stream from a very long time, you would know that I always say that if price is, if the trend is very strong, and if the trend is, and if price wants to continue that trend, it will not give you the optimal entries. Now what do I mean by the optimal entries? It is pretty simple, is that it will not give you entries in your desired area or in the discounted area. Okay, so let's say you have a festival, you have a, you have Eid or you have Christmas. Now of course you want to buy, let's say, some clothes, and if you would want these clothes the discount. It is a human nature that you want to buy these clothes in the discount. So that is the same thing in the trading. You have a price action and trader wants to make entries in a discount area. But again, if the trend is strong, you will not get the discount and price will reject from where it is and it will continue to go down. And in this case, 1382 is the level where price gives the max reaction and continues to go down, and which is what we're getting. All of these things is heavily bearish, and I'm nowhere close to being bullish, and I'm expecting lower, and the probability of going lower is again a lot. Now I can go frame if you want, and the more lower time frame is not telling you the very good story again as well. Why? Because the first thing is that you had this imbalance gap which you basically flipped out, which I did said, once these gaps flipped out, it is no joke, especially the higher the time frame is, the better it is. So right now again we did the same thing. We did not bounce from this uh, gap. We completely went through it, which is of course is again a sign of weakness, which is again a sign that sellers are completely leading this dump. You can see the spots are selling. You can see my screen, right? You can see this here. I'm in a short from 67 600. Yeah, beautiful. I was in a short from 67 500. I just closed out. It was like a point 0.8 hour. I was happy with the money because yeah, in the morning I also took a long. If you follow me on X, or better yet, I did post it in my channel as well that I did took a long. So yeah, it was a very beautiful long. Okay, I took it from 66 500, I guess. I took a shot from 67 500 or somewhere. I don't remember exactly, to be honest, but it was somewhere around here. So probably higher. Yeah, somewhere around here. So yeah, both of these trades were pretty good. Anyways, now if you look at this again, you're not having a bounce from this imbalance. So this is again becomes a very obvious sign that just sellers are leading, and we are in no good condition. Okay, and the bounces from the supports are getting smaller and smaller, because last time you had such a strong bounce. This time you had this bounce when you're giving a very strong reaction towards the short side. Now if I show you the order flow is not telling a great story as well. You have everyone selling, including the Bitmax, Coinbase, Binance Spot, where the Binance Spot is basically leading the selling. If I go on a Kiyotaka, I'm really sorry, sometimes bugs out. Coinbase is, oh my god, this is hurting my eyes. Coinbase is in extreme premium area, which is of course is no good thing. Now if I go here, what do you see here is that I did post about this in the general chat as well. If you did not saw this, why not share this share trades in server? I did share the trades in server. We are up almost 8 hour. Oh, sorry, the 7.5 hour or something. But I'm not gonna share every trade. Why? Because first of all, when you're trading time frame like 15-minute or 30-minute, these trades are hard to execute. That by the time I will share them, the entry price will all would have already be moved from where I'm looking, where my personal entry is. And the second thing is these are not reliable trades, and I do not want to give you the less confluenced or less reliable trades. Okay, I take them on my personal accounts, which is of course is a bummer account, but I do not share it here. I do share the trades which I like the most. Okay, but right now I do not see any very high confidence trades here, except below the value area low. Okay. Anyways, I did talk about this briefly in my channel as well. Sorry, the general chat as well. I'm gonna talk about this briefly again. When the price was dumping from the 70k to the 72k from to the 67k, the CVD was going down, which mean the selling was happening, shorts were opening. Why? Because the open interest was going up. So This combination was telling you that shorts were opening as, and this dump is very strong. On the other hand, when you are having this bounce, you are seeing something opposite. What you're seeing is that CVD is rising up and the open interest is going down. Now, what does that mean? This basically means, and the price is going up, of course. This basically means that short squeeze is happening, that this pump is driven by because shorts are getting liquidated and shorts are taking profits or shorts are getting closed. Any of this possibility, it can be any of the three, but it is shorts which are aggressively getting closed which is leading the price up, not because new longs are entering in the market, which is of course itself is a weak sign and it tells you that market is in a weak state and it can go lower from there anytime. Now of course I'm not denying the fact that short squeeze can last for days and go much higher. I'm not denying that, but I'm telling you that we are rejecting from very obvious levels, from 0.382, from imbalances, from point of control. The bounce from the support is very bad. The weekly time frame is looking very bad. The spots are selling. And we are getting a pump which is driven by the short squeeze. Now, when you combine all of that, again, that's why I say the context is very important. If you're just going to use the one tool, you're going to get fucked up. You need to use the multiple tools, and when you use all of that, it is telling you one thing, that to expect the lower is the most probable situation than to look for longs. Okay, so I have made my case, I have told you the reasons and everything. This is no surprise, this information is found everywhere about the concepts I'm using. So this is not something I invent. I am using the existent concepts which works, and using those concepts I'm telling you that I'm bearish on the Bitcoin. So yeah, I have yeah, pretty decent. I think this is uh, how much I want to add. And I don't think so I can add much to the Bitcoin. There are no trades I want to share. There are no levels that I want to share right now. I just wanted to make my case that I'm extremely bearish on the Bitcoin, and I will be looking for any shorts opportunities I get. And one of them is breakdown of this value area low, retest. This is where I will enter in a short. Okay. One of the reasons today is that Powell was also speaking. Sorry, the Paul was also speaking, and the second thing is that we also have a quarterly closing coming in. So you also have to keep that in mind. Okay, do not get too excited because the price action gets very volatile when you get quarterly closing coming in. Nasdaq, give me a second, guys. Give me a second, okay? Just looking at something. Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Let's look at the Nasdaq. I'm gonna look at the oil. Oil is destined to go lower. Yeah, Nasdaq is looking bad. Yeah, you have uh, SMT, but I don't think so. This SMT will play out anyway. But the thing is, the oil is destined to go up. And if you want to know why, I have explained the geopolitical situation and the war situation in my last stream. I'm pretty sure I did, okay? So make sure you watch my last stream recording, or I guess the last stream was not recorded, which I did on the Friday. So yeah, too bad, but maybe I will cover it on next stream, but right now I don't think so is the time. But yeah, anyways, the Nasdaq of course looks really bearish. We are constantly making the new lows, and for me, the Nasdaq level is basically this 22.3k level is where I will be potentially looking for some bounces and some trades. But before that, I don't think so. This will stop going down, okay? And I'm gonna share the chart so you guys have idea of my levels as well. Just like that. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry, my mouse is, I don't know. It's sorry guys. Okay. That's my Nasdaq level. Um, let's look at the yes. This is looking again is very bad. There were signs of weaknesses. This is the shot I posted on my X, and I'm gonna update about this. It's been days since I have updated this. Let me just take the screenshot and put it here so I can update this later on. ES is again is looking very bad. My level for the ES is also the 6,000. And also the interesting thing that I want to talk about the SPX is that uh, usually the average downfall of the SPX is 16%. I'm talking about average, okay? So we are now down like 9%. So I don't think so. We are closer to the top than the bottom. What did I say? I mean, we are closer to the bottom than the top. I meant that. Sorry. So I think this is where this 60% zone, where the SPX average lies, is very close to the data that we have here. So this is very interesting. So I think we will go something this much low and then eventually go higher from here. That this is where I will be looking to take full TP of my trade as well. Okay, so yeah, overall bearish on the SPX as well. This is my zone for the SPX. I will be looking to take profits and enter into the damn longs. Okay, something like that. Yeah, okay, let's look at the oil. And pretty much Bitcoin is what I trade nowadays, and I have given you the detailed update of the Bitcoin. The reason I'm not checking other charts is, first of all, of course, we have a quarterly closing coming in, which is very important. The price gets very volatile. The Powell was speaking today, so I do not have very significant levels to talk about. It was only just the Bitcoin that I wanted to talk about mainly today, and which I have done. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna look at the oil, and after that, if you have any chart requests for me, we can talk about it. Yeah, the WTI looks bad. Just drink the water. This looks bad, really bad. I don't see a reason why oil cannot go higher from here. We did this wick, we filled that gap. Now, if you compare the Bitcoin price action with the oil, you would know what I mean. Do you see the follow up after this wick? You are seeing a oil rising up. So for this is the strength you want to see after the gap have filled, so you can expect higher prices. I will not be surprised seeing oil trading at higher prices. The prediction is $150, and I do think that will come soon. So let's see what happens. I do think this is coming, and we can even do a breakout of this. To be honest, the Strait of Hormuz situation is very bad, and I did explain it in the last stream. And there were a lot of people in that stream, so I'm pretty sure you were in there as well. So yeah, this is my level for the oil. The short term, of course, this is a very volatile price action. You would need to trade the 1 minute time frame to catch a trade on this. Overall, yeah, this is what I'm looking at. The WTI. Um, yeah, I'll look at Tau, and after that, I think we should be good to wrap up. Or if you have any chart requests for me, we can go. We can do that. Oh yeah, Tau is looking bad. Yeah, this is looking bad, of course. Oh my god, looking bad on the weekly, but looking good on the daily. Because now that's interesting. Two major reasons to say that Tau is looking good. First of all, is of course we have a break of structure here. We have shifted the structure here. The second reason to say that Tau is looking good, because we have reclaimed over 475 and $300 range. We are doing a retest. So if Tau does not break below this level, this support, I would be very happy about the Tau. I would become optimistic. Again, I want to see a bounce from that, from this support, which we haven't got. I cannot be very optimistic about the Tau, but I'm gonna say this, that the structure is looking very good. Yeah, I'm gonna mark out this. Yeah, you can also see we have reclaimed the value as well. As long as we stay above the $300, I'm not gonna be bearish on the Tau personally. I'm happy what signs Tau is showing, and it's looking really good. I'm happy to see this. Yeah, this is looking good, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is looking good. Now on the Tau chart, and if we get a reaction from there, we can. You can possibly catch a very uh, good trade. Just give me a second. Let me just confirm because I have something else. Yeah, 4 p.m. Okay. Ah, this is for the Tau guys. This is looking very good, to be honest. Anyways, let me know, guys, if you have any specific chart that you want me to look at, and I can look at that. But other than that, I don't have anything because I mainly trade the Bitcoin, and I have covered the Bitcoin in very detail. I think it was very interesting market update today, and it is being recorded, so I'm happy. See someone writing, so let's just wait. Zach, yes, let's look at the Zach. Mm. Not a fan of not a fan of a chart at the first look. Can you give me more information? Are you looking for an entry? Are you looking to sell the Zach? Exactly are you looking to do? Then I can guide you more betterly. But overall, this is your higher time frame daily range on the Zach. This is your higher time frame daily range on the Zach, and the price is simply consolidating here. This was a good long opportunity if you caught it. Like when we swept the lows, we bounced from this daily imbalance. This was a very good opportunity to take a long. If you caught it, beautiful. And then you got another opportunity to take a short at this imbalance. Now it is in the air, and I do not want to do anything. If you ask me personally, I want a short LTF. I want a short LTF. If you wanted to short it, to be honest, it did give you an opportunity to take a short though. Look at this. Yeah, that's your imbalance. That's your gap. And if I draw the Fibonacci, you also have uh, 0.5 around this level as well. And we did tap we front ran the golden pocket. Oh my god, you see? We front ran the golden pocket. But we did tap the zero point 0.5, and that was your area to look for short, fam. Let's go on a 15-minute time frame for an entry trigger. Yeah, you did got an entry trigger as well. See this? That was your structure shift, and it even give you a retest. That would have been a trade like it. This is where I will target. But I do think so. Now it's late to short the Zach. I mean, it can go lower. I'm not saying it cannot go lower. My personal target would be would be lower. I do not think so. Zach will go higher from here personally. But the problem is that risk to reward ratio on the Zach right now is very bad. So I'm not personally gonna look for short. The risk to reward ratio is really bad now because it has already given a move. I'm not optimistic about this. I'm gonna pass on this. If you wanted to look at the short, I'm telling you a structure. Go on a higher time frame, mark your short zone. Once you have done that, go on a place your alerts and wait for the alert to get tapped out. Go on a 15 to 5 minute time frame. Okay, check on that 5 minute 15 to 5 minute time frame whether you are getting a reaction or not. If you're getting a lower time frame reaction, and the reaction can be a break of structure, gap being inversed, which we did here on a 15-minute time frame. I would love to do a stream about the entry models. I will talk with the Bilal and the Muro that I will write an educational content on my entry models. So do you see this gap? We flip that gap in like just 1 hour. So that was your entry trigger. Did a break of structure, that was your entry trigger. But now it's late. I've told you the structure. Go on a higher time frame, mark out your zones, place the alerts. Once the price comes to that level, go on a lower time frame, look for a reaction, take an entry, boom, that's your trade. It's that simple. But yeah, anyways, uh, I I'm not gonna advise do the short at the current market price because of course the risk to reward ratio is extremely bad. I'm gonna pass on it, fam. Anything else? And I hope that helped. If you have any questions, do let me know. No worries, fam. It's all good. Thank you for asking the question, of course, because people can learn from it. That's how we grow collectively. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Do let me know. Seems like we are good for today's stream. I would love to chart more coins, but as I mentioned, I do not trade any other coins, so I don't know what to chart, what to look at. Bitcoin is the most I trade. I have given you order flow perspective, technical perspective, and the price action perspective. Hope you understand what I meant on the Bitcoin. If you have any questions, do tag me in the general chat or even tag me right now. Recording will be available in stream videos channel. Every analyst stream is recorded and it will be posted for VIP members. So yeah, again, once again, thank you guys for joining in. I see you in the next stream. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit that interest button. I do the stream every Monday. Uh, cheers, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in Thursday. Thursday.